Hello everybody, I am back. We are doing those two molds that I picked up from February's resin mold box, the horse head and that split heart tray. I am also going to be working on the previous project where I poured part of the lid. So that's coming in this video also. In here I am trying to use different brushes and trying to get into those crevices of that horse head. I'm using some chrome mica powders and some mica powders from a set that I have had in my stash for about 5 years since I started doing soap. I got it off of Amazon. I don't even know if they still sell this set. It came with 100 different colors. So I am doing that, and I quickly find out that this is actually very tedious. And you're going to see here after I get through trying to work on those little design elements in the horse's head, I go to another technique where you're going to see me just splashing mica all over the place. But later on in the video, when I go to pour the resin, you will find out why. Because, I mean, have you ever sat and watched? There's a lot of creators that I like to watch. But two that I've been doing a lot of binge watching has been Michelle from Glitz and Glitter, and now Claire from Claire's Crafty Corner. And it took me a while. I think all artists, it doesn't matter what type of artist, painter, jewelry maker, resin crafter, scrapbooker, you have to find your own style, or you have to find out what makes your heart sing. And I like this chuck it all in style. It looks elegant, and you're going to see that in that heart dish, I kind of go for that. And in this is a technique that you'll see later on in the video, that I spray alcohol, 99% alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, whatever you call it, on that mica powder and that horse head. And what we will see what it does. And right here I was just showing the chrome powders that I was using and mica powders. I kind of did a little bit of both. And I'm just going through and just haphazardly, unplanned, but yet intentional chaos. And sometimes that yields the best results. You know, I like to have a plan before I go into something, but that plan doesn't always work. And you're going to see here that I almost make a big mistake. I ended up finishing mixing off camera. Yeah, right before I started to pour, what I didn't show was me going, oh shit, I did not mix all my mica powder, that I did a good enough job. Okay? So, what are we doing here? Okay. Yeah, I'm getting ready. I'm trying to measure things out, because that horse head takes about 7 ounces. That split heart mold takes about 3 ounces. I think I mixed up 12 ounces. And so I was trying to split the cups up for my coloring before I put it in the debubbler. 1 cup is going to be black with the crushed crystal in it, and the other one is I'm going to just dump, and I mean dump, a bunch of red glitter. And I can't believe it. I looked at the lid on this glitter. You'll see the glitter. I'm going to pull it out here pretty soon. I could not believe that I only spent 75 cents on that glitter. But I've had that glitter for, I don't know, 20 years? I've had it for a long time. by the time it goes through the debubbler, it's going to thicken up. And when I go and pour it, it had thickened up. So I'm here crossing my fingers, hoping and praying that my glitter doesn't sink. We will find out shortly if it sinks or not. So I'm just going to mix that up. It's pretty thick already. And then I'm going to go and grab my debubbler. Yeah, there I'm scraping the sides just a little bit more because I want to make sure that I have no unmixed resin in my cup. I didn't see any strings or anything, which is good. And then I'm going to mix in the black pigment paste with the crystal, crushed crystal. And oh my God, even as I'm sitting here now doing this voiceover, I'm still seeing little bits and pieces of glitter shining on my shirt. Yeah. And I was trying to be so careful not to breathe. I held my breath. As soon as I opened that bottle up, before I opened the jar of crushed crystal, I held my breath until I got my crushed crystal into my resin. But even at that, it's still blue. That shit goes everywhere. Though, if you know, you know, right? Okay. Now, there we go. It's in the debubbler. I had to release the pressure a couple times because the red kept on wanting to bubble up, you know, and I'm there holding my breath. And I'm waiting and praying and crossing my fingers and my toes, every single toe, every single finger. And I'm like, don't make a mess. Don't bubble over. And the cup was only half full when I put it in there. And I'm thinking, it's only half full. But probably because of all the glitter, it wanted to bubble over. But I love this machine. And after it's done doing its thing, I think I left it in there 10 minutes because I had a lot of resin. And I had 2 cups in there. I wanted to make sure the bubbles are gone. So, you know, all I did was spray some 99% isopropyl alcohol on the surface. All the surface bubbles gone. So here I am pouring the black. And I put it on a napkin so that I can move that horse's head. And I think, I don't know, did you see me spray? I can't remember if I started recording yet or not. When I sprayed that mica powder with the alcohol before pouring the resin. And there I am with that other lid that I started on the last video using leftover resin. And right there you can see where it seems like some of the mica powder was coming onto the back. I'm like, okay, if that's all the mica powder that's going to float, I'm okay. I'm okay. Just going to make the back look neat, right? But as you'll see later on, it just went back down. But on this side, that is the bottom part of that heart jar. Because I have a split heart tray there on the leveling table, and that's the jar. That's the bottom part that went with that lid. I quickly or soon realized, like, oh shit, I'm not going to have enough resin to do the bottom part of that jar. And I certainly did not feel like mixing up more resin to do that bottom part of the jar. So that is a possibility because I've got my crushed glass in there right now. It's mirrored glass. And there I am with a heat gun. You know, it was pretty full, and I'm like, I don't want to chance it running over because I spray alcohol on it. This, on the other hand, oh my gosh, yes, I ended up with a mess. And you're going to soon see that I kept on having to wipe my mess up. And I put the mirrored glass in that. And I was trying to push it down the sides. And there I am with some gold crushed glass. And I'm going to get the gold leafing out. That wasn't the easiest to work with. And it got stuck on the outside of the mold. And you're going to see that too. And I kept on trying to get it off. And I was just like rubbing it into the silicone. I'm like, okay, I guess when I clean up the mold, I'll try to get that off. But it was just a real tiny pot of gold leafing. Right there, you're going to see me trying to get that off. And it ain't coming. That gold leafing wanted to fly everywhere too. But I wanted some sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. I don't know how much of this is going to show through the red. Well, now I'm doing the voiceover, I already know. But in your time, we don't know if all this is going to show through the red. And I overpour. Yes, I do. I most certainly do. And I have all this cleanup to do and everything. Just you wait. And I go, and it started with me, it started going over. I'm like, here we go. Leave it to me. I can never pour. I either underpour or I overpour. You know, I try to dome. Sometimes I get it right because I got the horse's head pretty right and I got the lid to that jar pretty right. But not this. And I'm there trying clean. And I'm looking down into the tray. And I'm seeing, is that an air pocket? Well, it was the glass. Trying to get rid of air pockets. And this is another one of them things where, I'm playing. And I'm not going to, if it turns out bad, I will leave it in the video because, hey, that's how we learn, right? That's how I learn from other people. I like it when people leave their bloopers. Oh, and I almost had a blooper there too, by the way. My cup almost spilled into my black, and I would not have been a happy camper. But I didn't want to spray alcohol on that to pop bubbles that were coming up. So I would use my heat gun, and it still broke tension, right? And I'm thinking, I don't know why I wasn't thinking about my long neck lighter. I should have just got my long neck lighter out and done it that way to pop the bubbles. This is in, obviously, sped up time. This is like 4 times speed. But you can see all the little surface bubbles coming up and popping. Constantly popping. Well, I had to arrange things so that, okay, I had leftover red and I decided I was going to go ahead and pour some pendants. So I got a few pendants out of this. And then I make another boo-boo. And I don't know if I caught any of it on camera yet or not. I will know in a moment. Where I ended up putting the tray, the heart trinket tray, on top of the pendant mold because I realized, I'm not going to have room under my G3 for everything because that horse's head it's decent sized. And I think I have some more cleanup. Oh, there we go. Maybe it's settled itself down. Okay, everybody, it is demolding time. I already did the pendants. I lied when I said I wasn't going to finish this jar. The one that held extra, that rose with a rose top. Well, I came downstairs while everything else was curing, while the horse head was curing and everything. And I said, you know what? I'm going to pour some resin. I'm just going to finish this jar. Well, the estimates that I had, and I asked ChatGPT. ChatGPT gave me the wrong answer. And kind of saying, well, it's an irregular mold, da. Well, okay. So I had a shit ton of extra resin. So I poured another butterfly and a bunch of pendants. And I also added to my dump tray. I had like half, maybe even close to a full ounce. I just did not feel like running around trying to find extra molds to pour. I already had enough to do. But I have these pendants on this. This is another mold. It's actually a polymer clay mold that I'm going to end up, that I cleaned up, and I'm going to end up making jewelry pieces with too. But you can see all the pendants. Some of them are in closed back bales. Some of them are flat back bales, or I should say closed back bezels. Some of them are in, I put on some flat back bales on. And I put them on this so it'd be easy for me to move because that glue is drying. And I don't want to bump it. I don't want to mess up one of the bales. So I'm just putting that aside. Okay, the other extra. Yes, another butterfly. I love this mold. I don't know actually who made it, but it's definitely a handmade mold. And I've said that before. Looks like there's some silicone on this. But with, yeah, that crushed crystal does show up in this. So there's edges that need to be sanded because the this is not a perfectly cut mold. So I got to sand some rough edges. Do some blinging on this or whatever I decide to do. And probably going to put a magnet on the back. Then this is the lid that I started with one pour and didn't have enough. Finished pouring it and then did yet another pour, and I see there's a couple bubbles. I tried to get those bubbles, but it was already too late in the base because I had it in the curing machine. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start letting stuff sit for a while. I do have to put this up against me to get this lid off. Okay. And keep debubbling until I'm satisfied there's no more bubbles going to rise. And then I can put it in the curing machine. So, this is the lid. Yeah, I plan on doing something with this. A little bit of sanding. There's a little bit of overpour. There's some rough edges. There's a bubble right there. Couple rough edges. And one right there. I see like there's like two bubbles in this lid that I can see. Maybe another one right there. Okay, and the base. This is what I'm really curious about. I'm expecting a ton of bubbles because of all the glass and stuff in it. Flip the mold back right side out. Okay, let's see how this turned out. Like I said, there's some trimming that needs to be done, some sanding on the back. But this is the interior. Yeah, there's bubbles. Probably a lot of UV resin and a lot of sanding on this. I got some work. But the lid fits. The lid fits. Not too bad. I was experimenting. This was an experiment. Okay. Now, this is one of the molds from the resin mold box. I got a lot of cleaning up to do on this mold. Wow. Yeah, there's some sharp edges. Definitely needs sanded. Oh, these pieces are just flipping off on me. Yeah, a lot of trimming. A lot of trimming. This also, I had some of that crushed glass in there. As an experiment, chuck it all in. I think this is cute. I love the glitter in it. I was hoping that the glitter wouldn't fall, but there's just a very, very slight, not even really clear. So I put enough glitter in there that it stayed suspended for the most part. This down here, I'm not even mad about. The glitter did drop, but there was so much glitter in there, did not drop by much. And it's still showing like almost like a gradient, like dark red. This is just a simple trinket tray. Valentine's themed trinket tray. Now, my other real experiment. See a lot of mica powder on the back of this horse, which means a lot of it floated. Like I said, I saw Claire do this, where she just put mica powder on a mold, spritzed it with alcohol, and then she poured her resin. Are we ready? This is what I'm considering the main showpiece. Are we ready to see how this turned out? Oh my God. I love it. I love it. You know, there's even, you know, these are highlighted. So that mica did stay in those pieces right here. A little bit over here. And where I just started brushing it and dropping it. Oh my God. There is some overpour, so there is some trimming to this piece. Oh my God. I love it. I love it. I love it. I will use this technique again. That came out so cool. You can see some of the color shifting, the chameleon powders in this, the chrome powders. There's some regular mica powders from that big kit that I got off of Amazon years ago. I like it. What do you think? Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything to this. The most that I would do would be maybe some highlights, but I am going to get rid of the sharp edges, trim it down, and probably do something to this lid and the butterfly. The pendants are done, so let's get going.
Coffee cup ready, scissors in the air, glue on my fingers, but I don't care. Jenn the crazy crafter, running on steam, caffeine and glitter, the ultimate dream. Fueled by coffee, crafting all night. One more sip and the world feels right. Paper, resin, sparkly is free. Every day's better with a cup for me. Mugs in the press, vinyl on the floor, resin in the mold. Do I need more? Sipping my go juice, singing this song with coffee in hand. I can craft all day long. Oops, poured cream in the paint again. Ooh, stirring resin with my coffee pen. But hey, who cares? that's what I do.
Everything is all done now. And I have to say, that horse is my favorite out of everything. And I just want to take a moment and thank everybody who has watched and stayed with me to the end. I thank you all my new subscribers. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that you're notified when I upload new videos. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.